Let's get into today's episode of Why We Succeed. What is going on, everybody? It's your man, Immanuel, and I'm back with another episode of Why We Succeed. Today, I got a very, very special guest joining me on the podcast, none other than my man, Arnez Hardnick. What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast, man. My girl, Nicole, put me on to you, your Instagram, and you are a major motivator, bro. Like, I mean, your energy level is always on 100. You keep the people motivated, and I'm just so excited to have you on the show. I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about your journey. But since this is Why We Succeed, I got a question for you. How do you personally define success?
I'll start that one off with one of my favorite things. Actually, a couple of my homeboys in college used to rap, and I'm not a rapper, but I made this little verse, but it says success is like lust, good to the touch, good for the moment, but never good enough. So defining success, you may think that you at a level of success but once you get there and you taste that level of success, you're going to want to go higher and higher. So success is what you defined it at the moment.
Okay. So with that being said, I got to ask the question. So how do you define success at the moment, where you are currently?
So currently I'm on my journey of the duplication stage. So I have this pyramid where we talk about nobody starts a business to have another job, right?
Right.
So on that level, you have the basic level right here where you invest in all your time, every department, everything. Mm-hmm. The second level of that is where you start allocating and focusing on your expertise.
Right.
So you mainly just doing the good things, the things that you don't know about or spend too much time doing, you could just allocate that off. You got to make a certain amount, of course, to be able to pay someone else to do those duties.
Facts.
And then the duplication stage. Duplication stage is you starting to kind of duplicate yourself, put people in positions. This time, you want somebody to take your job.
Right.
You want somebody to take your job. Take my job, please, so I can go do another job and just keep putting people into their place. So, and then the last step is the freedom step, where you have your time. You can pick your exit route where you don't have to go in, or you can pick the position that you like to be in your company and you have a well-oiled machine. But so I'm in that stage of duplication.
Oh, man, you already just dropped gems on us right there with the 4 stages. So I got to ask this question. How'd you learn about those 4 stages? Like, where'd you get that from? I'm curious.
Honestly, I created it. So
Look at this man, on fire.
It's probably going to lead us into some of the things we're going to talk about later. But coming out of college, I had the career job.
Okay.
The career, I was already an accountant. Coming out my last semesters, I was already working in the account firm of a team of 5 or 6, just being a team member. And I saw the corporate structure. So I wanted to show small businesses how to build a corporate structure. Because if we go back to that same section, you got your everyday workers, you got your management workers, where the allocations is at. Then you got your duplications. They are you now. And then you is whoever you want to be. But, I learned it from actually being in the corporate world. But it's nothing defined. I never seen it drew out, so I had to draw it. I seen it before, and I was explaining it a lot to people, and I was like, "Hey, people like pictures, people like art, it's different types of learning. So, hey, show them. An illustration is everything, but this is all tied into it. I'm gonna show you it. If we can send this, I would like to actually post it because it shows the difference from the time." What you're going to be investing into time. It shows your responsibility levels. It's a nice little piece that I think that people just need to see.
Yeah, most
That's
definitely.
That's where I came up with it from.
It's so important. And I want to kind of go back a little bit and kind of get your journey, right? So like I mentioned, from looking at your IG, very motivated. We can already tell you have a strong sense of business and you've started your own financial consulting services business. I want to know, taking that jump from corporate, did you always know you were going to be an entrepreneur? Was it like, okay, I'm gonna just put my time in here and then I'm gonna make that jump? Like, what did that look like for you when it came to getting into entrepreneurship?
I kind of want to answer that two ways.
By all
I'm
means.
gonna answer that two ways. The first way is I want to talk about me transitioning from the journey.
Okay.
Then the second way is actually what I believe now is what the real journey is supposed to be.
Okay.
My first journey, I was doing taxes. I just completed my 14th tax season as me as a person. But the company, I think I don't know, 9th, 10th, something like that.
Okay.
As a real business, business.
Yes.
So what I saw was people needed help. I went to school to be an accountant. People just automatically, as a family or a friend, I was the tax guy. I was the money guy. I knew the strategy.
Right.
So it kind of built itself. So my first job, I was a team of 5 or 6. Some things happened. I had to transition to another job, which was right across the street, but I became a financial controller assistant. So I saw that in this journey, I'm doing all of the work. Right. But she's the face and she's the reporter. And she got some other work that she's doing, but hey. Yeah. It's structures, it's levels.
Yes.
So then I worked for a Black business. He managed 6 auto repair shops. So in this time frame, big in Knoxville, Tennessee. So in this time frame, had a hobby that's turning into a business that turned into a part-time job that actually I looked up and I had 2 full-time jobs. I'm looking like, wow, this is over here making a lot of little change. And I'm like spending time here. Yeah. And, I always been the type of guy that didn't require a lot of sleep. But I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to challenge something. I turned my full-time job into a part-time. Okay. And then I told him, like, hey, I'm moving to Charlotte on this date. I need this. He became my client, from a boss to a client. So I made the transition from being in the corporate world, learning the structure, learning how they run it properly, because I'd never seen it before, seen a lot of different things. And you reach your level of expertise at one point. Yeah. So learning from different positions, and then I transitioned to having it. So I kind of did know that I wanted to always work for the people. So yeah, I would say I always thought I would run my own business.
Wow. That's amazing, man. And I love your transition, right? Because in all honesty, that's what I like about entrepreneurs. Everybody's journey is different and the roads that we travel are so different. And just hearing how you essentially went from college to working a full-time job, right? Like the corporate gig. And then you made some transitions along the way. And then you started doing something on the side, helping people out. And you started to realize, like, hold on, like, I can be as successful at this as what I'm doing with the corporate thing. And one thing led to another. And now you have your own business. And that's amazing, man. So how long have you been operating your own business full time?
I want to say 8 or 9 years. I don't remember which one.
Yo, that's dope, man.
Yeah. And the jump is scary. The jump is like a very challenging jump. I don't know. I was connected to a good church. It was certain sermons that built me up to that understanding. It was certain people, certain storylines of what you're doing for people where you like, hey, I'm still a kid. I didn't know I was, but you not a kid no more. Something famous, if we're going to give them a little quick takeaway, I heard is you can start a business. All you got to do is do something a little bit better than someone else. Or I would change that and say, all you got to do is save somebody a little bit of time. That's all I got. I just want to drop that on there.
Yo, that's good. That's good. Yo, I love that, man. You always be dropping gems. So let's take it back a little bit. What were some of the challenges that you faced along your journey? Did you ever have any limiting beliefs that you had to overcome?
Yes, yes, yes. Um, it's funny. I'm a go into this as a life journey first, because I think sports always kind of build you up into being building character and building certain decision making tools in you, basically.
Right.
So I remember one time I was racing and I was about to go to state that year,
Oh,
but I
wow.
didn't feel that I was good enough yet. So I kind
Mm,
of was afraid of success. And sometimes
okay.
we can get afraid of success or get comfortable in a place
Hmm.
or get in a situation where, hey, I don't need to change it. You always need to change something. So saying all of that
Hmm.
was in the journey. I had to continue to push myself to strive to want more. Hey, you haven't released nothing. You that was
Hmm.
yesterday. You did that
Okay.
yesterday. They still need more. They still got questions. They still understand. So some of that journey was very hard. One of the main things that I struggle with is I wanted to help the world.
Mm,
I
mm,
wanted to help the world, and everybody wasn't ready to be helped.
mm. Yo, that's real.
I
That's
wanted to
real.
help the world, and so with me being a person that visualize while we talking, I'm like this with my little what's that, a Rubik's cube trying to
Yes.
crack the puzzle. So while they talking to me, I'm trying to solve their problems in my head, and I crack the puzzle, and then I get the client, and
Hmm.
they excited about it,
Hmm.
but they not really ready. They not
Mm.
really ready yet.
Right.
So I had to learn how to weed out those clients so I wouldn't be heartbroken because I didn't save them. I had to
Hmm.
learn how to weed them out, see who's serious, build a system, and that was some challenging things because, like I said, I wanted to save the world syndrome.
Yo, that's real, man. And I'm curious, how did you overcome that desire to, or have you overcome, or did you just modify it when it comes to trying to save the world or help other people out and they're not really responding to it or ready for it?
The approach is different. So
Okay.
you learn, you study the market, you study how people are responding, you study the people that came in, what they
Hmm.
came in from, the different channels. And well, I was like, okay, well, I could talk to you for an hour and we really excited about this. You know, you can see this in your life. I'm giving you the great
Hmm.
vibes. You know, the energy. You know, I'm sincere about what I'm doing,
Yes.
but you may still be scared to take that step.
Right.
So after that conversation, I'm sending you a basic information form.
Hmm.
It's 3 to 5 minutes.
Hmm.
If you don't fill that out, you're not ready to do the things that is required to take that
Right.
step. It's
Right.
nothing major, but if you ain't giving me that little second of your
Hmm.
time, you're not ready. Thank you. I'm not gonna waste no more time on you. I'm gonna waste my time or spend my time on
Hmm.
clients that want it. So
Right.
I don't sell nothing.
Hmm.
I switched it from trying to sell and persuade people. I'm gonna give you this information.
Hmm.
Here you go. Here go my number. Here go this. Talk to me later. And from there, if
Hmm.
you want me, come get me. I'm gonna
Right.
give it to you. I'm giving it to you for free. But
Hmm.
I'm not persuading no one. And when
Mm.
they come to you, they already ready. They ready to take the steps. I had clients say, hey, you ain't
Mhm.
send me my invoice this month. That's when you know they
Right.
ready. And then the
Right.
clients that you want. So weeding
Hmm.
out those clients that you spending more time with. I fire clients too. I
Mm.
fire clients during tax season.
Hmm.
It's funny because I like to say that. I think that's the wrong thing, but it's not. It's not to be like be anal about it or anything like
Hmm.
that. But you have some clients that may give you more than
Hmm.
you need in that time that you arguing or trying to convince this client that the IRS have a hold on their stuff. The
Right.
next day they might get their money, but we just waiting.
Right.
You could have helped three people. You could have saved three people's
Mm.
lives. So
Hmm.
why spend that time on negative energy?
Right.
Focus on anything that's positive. Create that culture.
Right.
So I created the culture.
I love that. And I'm curious, what what was it like changing from selling people on your service to getting to a place where you recognize the value that you add and then you put it in the clients or the potential clients, you put it in their hands to say, hey, either I'm ready to move forward with you, Arnez, or I'm not.
Right. So during the conversation, limiting me being so excited and then me getting like diarrhea at the mouth, if they call it. Right. Don't get so diarrhea at the mouth. You got to spoon feed them. If you spoon feed them, give them enough to see, and then also put in the closing point. The closing point is I'm going to say, I'm about to send you over the basic information, fill out this basic information, then we're going to get started from there.
Right.
It's done. So I'm after me having that conversation, or me and this came from me going to seminars, webinars, me being in networking events, me learning the game, learning the industry. They not selling a product. If I'm selling this, I'm not selling exactly what's in here. I'm not going to tell you what's exactly in here. I learned from Allstate, and you'll hear a big old boom. You're like, what the heck is going on? You know, 25% of Americans die every 2 seconds. You know, some crazy stuff. They selling you off of fear. They not selling insurance. They're not selling that they're going to be able to fix your car after this. They selling the fear. So you learn a different tactic in how you really sell. And, you know, depending on the industry you have.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And selling the real.
And I'm curious, how big of a part of your business is that? Knowing how to communicate with people, knowing how to properly present an offer, and to a certain extent, how to sell your services. Like, what percentage would you say is that a part of your business when it comes to the important piece?
So on the sales part, I'm not, I'm getting them in, I'm going to upsell them. I do the Walmart approach. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to get in my family. Once you're in my family, you're going to see, you're going to want other things that we offer because you're family now. Right. You got a trusted advisor. You got somebody that, hey, I got a question. I need to call him. I need to text them. So the selling part, they come to us. We do inform them, but we first listen to their conversation. We're listening, and now we like, okay, you mentioned credit. Let's see where you at in credit. So maybe a few questions, and nothing is actually a script. Okay. We don't run off of scripts. We flow. Everything is a flow, so it can be genuine, and you really, you know, get the basic conversation. Once you know the flow of it, you're going to be able to talk to any client. So the sale is, hey, they call us or they may message us. We invite them to talk to us. Once we invite them to talk to us, we give them the information. The sale part happens. Yeah. It's going to happen. Right. Because the information, the knowledge, the system, what more do you want? You can't refuse it at that point. So it's very important to have a system in place instead of like a sales type of structure to me. I'm not traditional with a lot of things though. So I like
that's fair. And I want to look at it a little bit from the perspective of our listeners, our viewers, right? They're new entrepreneurs, or, you know, they haven't yet started their business. And as we know, whether you're selling services or products, selling is a part of that. What are some things that you've learned about sales that you would, if you could go back and talk to yourself, you know, 8-9 years ago before you started your business, what are some of those things you wish you knew about how to sell to clients?
Be confident. Be confident. Be confident in your price too. Because somebody can, if I'm talking to you and you like, it's $75. You're not confident in your price. I'm not confident in your product now. So on the sale part, you have to sell to make money. And perfect. I'm glad that you said that. Don't downgrade your service for a sale. Know your value. Know your value. It's good to sell to people. It's good to have the Walmart approach opposed to the Saks Fifth approach. Meaning you just want to generate a lot of sales instead of sitting on a product and selling it, but you're going to get a bigger pie at Saks Fifth, Walmart, selling every day. It's good to know your value, but also know where you at in your prices too. Why you selling? So if you just beginning, do not give the top dog price. You're not there yet. If you're giving in some things away for free, make sure they pay for a little bit of something just so they can appreciate your service and give you good feedback. But as far as me learning about sales, don't be afraid to sell. Some people just afraid to sell, like, oh, it's not ready, it's ready. Try it. Get a test market out there, sell it for less, discount it, but get out there, sell.
Nah, that's real. That's real. Yeah, I love that, man. You spin gems, and I'm gonna park here for a minute and unpack it. The first thing that you mentioned is the fear, right? I think that that's the first thing that we have to talk about is a lot of people are afraid of sales. You know, sales has a negative connotation. Those people like, don't be a sleazy car salesman, you know, no shade about car salesman out there, but you know, like that's what people associate sales as being bad things.
That's
but sales
crazy.
is a part of life.
But you know, that's crazy because I used to get offended. You know, we used to travel for track in the airports, and I used to just talk to people, or people would just talk to me. Honestly, I think I got a really friendly face, and people just always was open to talk to me. So they used to be like, "Hey, you'll be a real good car salesman." I got offended by it because my taste and my thoughts of car salesmen, they're gonna sell you a lemon, they trying to get over on you, and they're gonna try to work for their commission only. And I was like, "Whoa!" But they was just saying that I communicate well where I make someone feel comfortable. And that's part of sales, making them feel comfortable.
Starting out as an entrepreneur, how do you overcome that fear? Or I guess I should ask you the question, did you ever have a fear of sales, right? Did you ever have that fear?
Yeah. With certain products, I knew what I put into it, and I was a fear that people didn't know the value of it. I didn't know if it was good or not. You never know. Like, you never know until you test it. So, not trying to diminish the brand. Like, you may put something out and it's like, hey, that's trash. And now that's your company if that's the first thing they knew about you.
Right.
But yeah, I did have fear of selling or telling my price or just talking to people. Sometimes it's you get those no's and you get like 2 no's. It's like, I'm discouraged. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. This is not good no more. And you can't be afraid of those no's. So that fear is really the no. Mm-hmm. But what if they say you get 10 no's in a day and then you get one $200 yes? If we talk about every single day you do that, how much money you made at the end of the year? I'll take 10 no's that day to get one $100, $200 yes. Why not? Right. So get out there.
That's one of the things that I've learned. Like, and I'll be honest, like I'm still learning about sales and how to navigate it. The different strategies and things. But the one thing that I've come to recognize is it's a numbers game at the end of the day. And as long as you recognize that, if you increase the amount of people that you're talking to, your number of leads, the number of clients, then like you mentioned, you may have a 9-to-1 ratio where you got to get to 9 no's before you get that 10th yes, that first yes. And it's to your point. Then it becomes, okay, I got 9 no's. Then it's like, okay, well, I got 5 no's. That means I got to hear no 4 more times. And then I'm yes. So like once you start, see? Yeah. And that's one of the things that I had to learn is it sucks. Like, let's be honest. It sucks to get the no's, but then you become immune to it where it's just like, okay, it's a part of the game. You got to kind of flip it in your mind where it's not a bad thing, but you looking at it as a step towards where you want to go, which is to that yes.
And you can learn from them no's. You can learn what you feel like where you lost them at. You can learn from like, oh, I shouldn't take that approach. Every time I took this approach, they said no. So you can switch up your game. You can see where even when you got that yes, hey, I got that yes, I did that different.
Right.
So you got to test your market. You got to test your market. And you said something very good that you said new entrepreneurs. So we're in a new age. You don't have to talk. You don't have to be no face. It ain't always you. Why you selling? If you talking about why you ain't got to sell, if you don't talk to people, we got the internet.
Right.
We got email campaigns, phone campaigns. You got the Instagram. You can pay people to do that for you if that's the case. Tell them what you do. If you ain't a talker, you ain't a writer, you tell somebody what you do. It's a service out there that does that for you. And it promotes your business. You can sell in your sleep. Why are you selling then? So that's for the new entrepreneurs and for people that's doing it. Hey, get on them sales. Them sales work too.
It was something that you said that stood out. And I think that it really goes to the heart of sales and just business in general, which is communicating, right? As long as you develop the necessary skills on how to communicate, then you will have success in those areas. And in this example, sales, because as you mentioned, you may not be good at, let's say, face-to-face conversations with people selling, or you may not necessarily be good at on the phone calls. Well, like you mentioned, you can sell somebody via email. You can sell somebody via a text or a DM. So as long as you know how to communicate the value of your product, your service, how it's going to help the other person, you can essentially sell somebody your product without doing it in the quote unquote traditional sense. So just kind of overcoming that hurdle of figuring out where are you most comfortable in this moment. And if you're like, okay, well, I may not be comfortable talking to people, but I'm comfortable typing or writing something out. We'll start there. And I promise you, there are people who make lots of money from selling people through an email or through a text or through a chat. And it's possible.
Nicole, she's a blogger. She have an email letter campaign. You learn her story, and then she drop another book, product sold every time. They already know her story.
Facts.
Right?
That's the way it works, man. Yo, that's the way it works. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I think that that's something that, clearly any entrepreneur needs to know, but especially new entrepreneurs, is you have to be courageous enough to overcome the fear of selling. And I want to talk about one other fear before we get back to your journey, which is that fear of pricing, right? I think that that's one of the main fears.
I keep mentioning it.
Talk about that. So how can people overcome the fear of how they price their product or when they share the pricing of their services?
So a lot of people hide the price, and then they'll post their shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
But that shirt, $35. If it's you my friend, I got $20 for you because I see that's kind of the norm. But bro, you want 30, 35? What's in that shirt? What kind of shirt? You got to tell me what type of material that I'm getting different, because I saw somebody else sell a $20 shirt just like that. I want to support you though. So I just thought it was funny to mention. But knowing what you're selling, that helps the fear. Knowing exactly what you're selling, that helps with the fear of the pricing and selling. But knowing how to motivate the people, showing them the value of it. So some of the things that y'all might see a lot when y'all looking at different people selling things, they show you the value. They'll go like this. Hey, you get this. I'm gonna promote right now. Hey, you get this financial freedom planner. It's $74.99. It has 8 years of experience in here. You're gonna get what we use on our clients this year. I'm selling you why is this price. It's usually this, but if you act today, you can get it for $59.99. Now I feel like I won, and I'm getting so much value. I just sold them value. But then if they buy into it, this is when y'all get progressional. When you learn about the upsells, but this is all really done online, unless you're doing a pop-up shop. So they buy this. It's called ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels, when y'all get to ClickFunnels, I know we're going to talk about it later.
Yes.
When we get to ClickFunnels allow you to do this. Hey, you bought this, but why wait? You can now get the box. The box come with X, Y, Z. You add value to that also. You telling them that why you're different, why they buying from you. And now the price is not a thing no more.
Right.
So The fear of that is knowing that you're worth it, number one, and you don't have to sell to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect one. You don't have to sell to everybody.
Right.
Everybody that come to you is not your client or your customer. You don't if they trying to keep downgrading your service, no, don't accept them. So,
that's real. That's real. And I feel like this, if you have a price point that you've set and the market has responded, meaning that you've had clients who have purchased that service or that product at that price point, and you get people that are saying no, then that's letting you know that those people are not your target market. Because if you have people that are coming back consistently willing to pay what you set the price at, it's proven that they see that level of value in the service that you're offering. And I think it's important for people to know that, because sometimes people will say, oh man, well, I'm not getting as many people buying that at this price, so I must need to lower my price to meet this, these other people that want it at a lower price. I personally don't necessarily think that that's the right approach. I'm curious to get your thoughts. If this is my take on it, if I have a quote unquote higher ticket offer that's selling, I'm not going to lower the price on that to get the people that aren't at a place where they can make that investment. I'd rather put time into a lower ticket item that you can, like you mentioned, get those people in the door with the lower price item that adds value, but maybe not as much, clearly not as much as the high ticket. And then you can use that later as an upsell.
Facts. It's a great build up. So it's a way of going about it discreetly if you're testing the market. If you like, hey, I'm new. I don't really know the pricing. I know that they doing it over here for this. I'm doing it at this. I might be a little bit lower or whatever the case may be, or I might be a little bit higher. Okay, I'm going to test it out. Black Friday coming up. Mother's Day coming up. I'm going to throw a sale to see how they respond. You're going to have to see how they respond. And like, so let's say if it's credit reparation, I'll tell you like a sale tactic that would be done.
Okay.
I'm going to get them in the door by offering the first month at a discount, but they may be on a month-to-month basis. So if they sign up, it's usually $200 for the initial setup. And that's the first month. You get all of the different things. I might say it's 50% off for the sign up. They signed up. I got them in. It may only be $100, but now if it's $100 monthly, I just gained that $100 on the back end.
Right.
Unless my service is trash and they don't sign, they don't go monthly,
Right.
So it's different ways of testing your market out. So kind of just depends. Whichever approach they're gonna go. But I am a fan of not dropping your price for no one.
Yeah.
Unless you never let me give you a discount. Don't ask me no discount. When you ask me a discount, it's an insult to my time, my profession, and everything that I've been working for.
Right.
So I'm a fan of what you're saying.
Yeah. And I want to go back to it to get your take, right? Let's say, for example, you're a new entrepreneur. You just created a new offer for a service, right? How many clients would you need to have pay at that price point before you're like, okay, this price is a lock. Like, I don't need to lower it for anybody. Even if anybody comes along and they're like, yo, I would do it if it was, $100 less or $50 less. How many people would you need to have crossed the threshold and bought it before you're like, okay, that price is a lock. I don't need to make any adjustments?
Not sure. I don't think it's a number. I think it's more so like, I guess it depends on how you scale your business. You know what I'm saying? Your actual definition of how many clients. You could say 5, but these 5 they just might respect you a lot, and I'll pay whatever.
Okay.
And they may just been those clients where you would test the market of, hey, it's some outside people that don't know me. It's some people that knows me. The people that knows you is the ones that's going to actually question your price. You're not the people on the outside. They're not going to be the ones that's going to tell you for real. Them are the people that's going to give you a lot of your market, but you got to watch them because they can also cast their fears on you. which is a whole different life. But
Thanks.
watch that, listen, continue researching. But essentially, you will know, like, if you see, they knew. Never mind. I was going to say, like, right now, like, sometimes you even increase your price, and it's hard to increase your price sometimes too, because it's just like, whoa. But the industry, money is different from when you first started. You know,
Right.
So different work is required. So
yeah,
there's no real set way or set number to me, so I can't really answer that with a number.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I was just curious as to whether or not there was a number, because I know every service and every product so it's a little bit different, right? And I know when I think back at some of the services that I've offered when it comes to like editing or voiceovers, I would be trying out different price points. And for me, after like, I would say, I'm gonna try this price point. I'm gonna up my price, let's say for this month, and I'm gonna let it run at this price. I will compare that and see, well, how many offers did I get this month versus last month? Like how many? And when I see that, oh man, like once I have people buying it at the higher price, to me, that's already like, okay, it's confirming that there are people who will pay this price. Then it becomes how many people will consistently pay that price. And that's the reason why, like, I will look at more than just, oh, I got one sale, so that means that this price is worth. Like, I wouldn't be so quick to say just because I sold one person at that price that it'll work.
Correct.
I was just curious to get your take on that. Yeah.
I kind of want to go into that because you also want to look at how much it really costs you.
Right.
So if we're a new business, we backpedal a little bit. So it's the financialness coming out of me, the geek.
Bring it out.
So the financial part of it, if we in the huddle, we're talking about, okay, this is how much it cost me. So this book may, or let's say this T-shirt, we got T-shirt company, express the brand. I'm gonna do a soft promotion. But so let's say the T-shirt, I gotta buy this T-shirt, I gotta buy the ink, I gotta do this, that, and the third. And I gotta hire someone.
Right.
Okay, by the time this shirt is done, it's probably cost me $7, $8. Let's say that. $8. I want it at 20. My target profit is what I say, $8. So my target profit is $12. That's my target profit.
Right.
Now that's the number that you can work off of. Because this is what you're gonna take home after everything. So now if I'm trying to decide between $20, $25, and $17, $15, I know that, hey, I'm only playing with this, but I know that I pay the amount that I pay for it is going to be this. I'm going to cover the bottom line costs. I can break even at least, but how much do I want after I break even? And that's how you can kind of determine if the product is even worth continue selling. Because if you got a big company, you may have to discontinue this product. Maybe for this time frame, it's not worth selling no more. So when you dive into the numbers, you get to see that.
Nah, that's a great point. Yeah, and I totally agree. Selling physical products it's a lot different when it comes to selling digital services, or especially like digital products, right? And here with us trying to increase the amount of online entrepreneurs, the one thing that online entrepreneurs have is the fact that you don't have as much overhead and as much cost as if you are selling physical products. I'm not discouraging people from doing it, because you can really make some really good money from selling merchandise, whether it's T-shirts, whether it's stationery, journals, different things of that nature. You can definitely make some good money from selling physical products. But one of the benefits is if you are offering a service that, is pretty much just the investment of your time or any other tools that you may use in order to fulfill that for the client. Or if it's a digital product where, it's an ebook or something, it's the time that it took you to write it, and then, just sending it out.
And the value. Don't forget the value.
That right there.
What are you giving them? What are you giving them in that? Damn. If you're going to change their life in some type of way with the service, or you're going to give them the perfect lighting, the perfect editing, the perfect voiceover where it's on beat and you get 15K views, you get 100 views, that 100 view, like 20 of those actually bought your service. How much did he cost you? He ain't cost you nothing at that point. So when you start looking at the value of everything, that's when you get comfortable. You can get comfortable at that point and know that you can raise yourself. And even what you're saying, how long did it take you to edit? How long did it take you to write that book? How long since you're the boss now, how much you gonna pay yourself? Don't be too hard on yourself because you ain't worth all that. Now, no, but if it's $30, I like to tell people that because they have to downgrade themselves and make yourself that number. Don't start off $175 an hour. That's ignorant. You didn't even make that at your job, and you ain't there doing what you did at your job. Doing way less work. So if you start off at $20 an hour, or you paying yourself mentally. How long is it going to take me to set up from this to this to this? You can pay yourself properly. And if somebody tell you or ask you for a discount, they're insulting you. You know that you shot yourself in the foot. So you can play with your prices from there. But you got to know your value or else you're going to just be, oh, I can do that. Shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh, man, trust me. I've learned those lessons, man, is for me, especially, being a video and audio editor, right? I've had to learn what projects I can accept, I can take on, and which ones I can't, because I've been in those places where I've accepted projects and my head was underwater. I'm like, yeah, I looked at what this person was willing to pay and, and let me just say this.
Thank you. Go ahead. Go for it.
Like sometimes the price can be a trap, man. Sometimes if you ain't had nobody to, pay you that big ticket and somebody like, yo, I pay you this to do it. And you don't take the time to really measure what the project requires, whether or not you have the skill set to meet the requirements of what they want. That's what happened to me. I was like, yo, this person was like, yo, I hire you, I pay you this amount. And I'm like, word? Like, oh. And then I just was like, yeah, let's do it. And they were ready to pay. And then when I got in there and started analyzing, oh, they want this, that. I'm like, ooh, like some of this stuff I don't know how to do. Like, so then I'm on YouTube trying to look at tutorials, trying to figure stuff out. And I'm like, how much time am I investing? By the time I figure out how to do some of the stuff they ask, what I was, like you saying, what my hourly was, I ain't even gonna make it. I was spending more time in training.
Pennies on the dollar at that point.
Facts, man. And I'll be honest, it hurts, but there have been times when I've had to just be honest with clients and be like, yo, I didn't do my proper due diligence. Like what you require, I'm not able to provide it. And here's a full refund. And it sucks because it's a reflection on me, it's a reflection on the business. I mean, very rarely will those clients come back.
Though. No. Great reflection on yourself.
Yeah. Because what it does is it teaches me. Like, that's what helped me to say, okay, well, if I do video editing, I'm not a music video editor. I'm not even about to try. Like, what? Like, I don't do that. Like, it's a whole nother skill set. I'm like, podcasting is my thing. I edit videos and audios for podcasters. If it's not a podcasting project, then I'm not even going to accept it. There may be interviews and stuff that I can do, but if it's not within the interview podcast lane, I just say, yo, I would love to work with you, but that project isn't one that I can accept, because I know that all it's going to do is put me in a place where I'm not able to execute efficiently. I'm not able to utilize my time to the best of my abilities, and I'm not able to make sure that I'm providing something that the client is ultimately going to be pleased with. So I think that's another lesson that I would say to all of my my service-based business owners out there is be mindful. Make sure that whatever the project requires, you're able to meet that with your skill set. If you can't, just fall back. Or if you know somebody else that can, which is the beauty of networking. Let's say you do video, music videos. I can be like, yo, I don't personally do music video editing. My man Arnez, like, yo, he a beast at it. Dog, do you know how much that's going to help our relationship? Now Arnez is like, yo, you looked up. Yo,
you send me some money,
yo, you just
you this.
facts. And it'll be just the opposite when people come to you and they're like, yo, I need my like, yo, I don't do podcasting, but yo, check out my man Jay. Like I'm
already on it. Like I need you already. I've been saying that. I just need a team, and you have to have that team. And I always say I'm the plug's best friend. So if I'm not the person that does it, I'm gonna send you to my people. Hey, Ness, you know this? I'm one of those now. Like, hey, you know somebody to do this? I know you don't do it, or do you?
Right.
Like, no. Here go my brother right here. Call him, tell him I sent you. Tell him you my family. He gonna bless you.
Yeah.
They now trust you. They don't have to ask you 1,001 questions.
Right.
They like, oh, those are the best. But you have to make sure that you said that. You said that, like, you said it perfect. I had to give you applause in that because you can see that price, or you can customize your service where you don't have a system, you don't have a flow, and it's gonna cost you. So you customize. Oh, Nance, you do this? You like, no, I don't really do that, but it's in my area. Let me figure it out. It's costing you the rest of your day.
Right. Oh my gosh, man. Yo, you just hit on a point right there. You got to be so careful. If you don't have a system in place, you need to pause and reevaluate. Like, before you go out there chasing down a bunch of leads, have a system in place. And that I would say that not just in business, even with like podcasts and different YouTube channels that I have, it becomes a struggle when there's no system in place, because then you just going in any direction. You like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. You got a million different things on your to-do list, as opposed to having a system. Once something makes it through point A, it's going to point B, point C, and it'll just flow through the system until you get to the output. But man, you know, that was a gem right there, bro. That was
you said it. I piggybacked off of you, because that's 100. You know, that's your foundation. And when you saying that, it reminded me another thing. New business owners, startups, entrepreneurs, don't get popular too fast, especially if you don't have a system in place.
Right.
If you don't have a system in place and you get popular, you will not be in business long. I'm going to tell you right now, because you're going to diminish your brand. You're not going. It's going to be not the same. Take the McDonald's approach. When you go to McDonald's in Cleveland or in Michigan, they're going to look the same McDonald's. They're going to say the same burgers. They're going to serve the same everything, because they buying the system, and that's what they getting. So that system helps you duplicate. That system helps you move on, and that system also helps you evaluate your business.
Right. And just think about it, right? Especially for our visual learners out there. Imagine if you went to a McDonald's, or you went to a grocery store, right? A chain grocery store, and the process is different everywhere. Like, some of them, okay, like, we don't carry that product at this one. Like, you got to go to our store that's 2 hours away for this product. You would be like, why am I going to continue to shop here? It's the fact that you can always go to that grocery store, regardless of if it's in your town, if it's 2 hours away, if it's in a different state, if it's in a different country. You know that they're going to have the products that you need. It's going to be down the same aisle. You know how the aisles are set up. You know where
Michigan and be and go get whatever I need right now, whatever. Never been in that store.
Facts.
That's facts. Right, brother.
And that's part of the system. Like, people may just look at it as like, oh, that's just a store layout. No, it's part of the system. If you can go into any grocery store, and if you're looking for, let's say, bottled water, you go to the water aisle. If you're looking for juice, you go to the juice aisle. If you're looking for bread, you go to the bread aisle. Could you imagine going to a store and, yo, we got 2 breads over here, we got another bread aisle and stuff over there? Like, why isn't all of this stuff in one place? It's all part of the system. If you got a cashier, you go here, you bring your items up here in the front, but then you got to go pick them, you got to go pay in the back. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as we're operating our businesses, right? We got to look at it from the perspective of the client. What does it look like when they make first contact with us? How smooth is that process? Are we having to go sending an email here? Okay, then we'll hop on the call here. Like, you got to figure out how to streamline the process so it's just as smooth as going into the grocery store, going down the aisle with the item you're looking for, grabbing it, putting it in your basket, going up to the cash register, checking out, and going home. If it's not that smooth, then you got to go back and figure out what system do I need to put in place for it to run that seamlessly.
Facts. That you touched on that, brother.
So I want to go back to something that you had mentioned earlier. You said you want to be the best friend of the plug, and I really like that. And it made me think, right? One of the things that we can rarely do on our journey is do it alone. What people have been instrumental along your journey, either motivating you, helping you, being there when you needed them?
I learned from some great guys in the industry when I got to Charlotte. When I moved to Charlotte, that was I had some guys there, great team, and I saw how they worked as a team. Man, it was party promotions. They had all different abilities. They three had different abilities. Wow. But I'm talking about I went out there bootstrapped with them, and we putting the flyers on the old school promoting. Yeah. And seeing how they come together as a team motivated me, showed me the things. Seeing some of my friends that's in the industry, some of my friends that I went to school with, they doing it big. Always is dope motivation. Like, hold up. This is me. This is just who I am. Hold up. Who they think they is? Let me get in the game, deal. They all shining over there. Let me get in there. Let me put my hand. Let me get in here. Thanks. But also be a friend that somebody is proud to introduce. Like, oh, this my. Hey. This. So it's dope.
I like that. And for anybody out there who's also interested in starting a financial consulting business, what are some things that you would share with them that they need to know if that's the lane that they want to operate in?
Okay. So, building your brand, when you're in the financial lane, you have to build a brand before you can really, really kind of make money because they don't know you. They don't trust you. And they have to be completely naked in front of you. Meaning that you have to see every single thing. They have to trust you.
Right.
So that means consistently being in their face, consistently teaching them enough where they learn it. I have some people that come to me, Nez, I've been watching you for 5 years. I'm ready. Like, dang, 5?
Right.
That's I ain't never that much. I did. Yeah, I ain't spend that much in college. You got a degree off of me.
Right. Facts.
But in this lane, you sometimes have to build up that trust, depending on what you're doing. Taxes, they can just you can kind of just enter in there because of word of mouth. Credit, that's another kind of open field, but it's a sticky field because of the different people have been burnt or people just starting and don't know what they're doing and just get that ticket. So just build a brand first. Do the services, learn, do a lot of test markets. Don't go public first. Get your clients slowly and use them as your test markets. I had a service that I closed for renovation for a long time because I was like, hey, I want to give them more and I have to build more, but I got enough information for this being open 5 years. I want to close it now. Right. I couldn't fire some clients. And I that's why I created this. Like, hey, if I can't get to you, you got this.
Right.
So just really take your time and build it. And it's not going to happen overnight because people have to trust you.
Right.
And don't get discouraged because initially you may be called a fraud or people may come at you as you just trying to get my money. You got to open up that, let them know like, hey, I'm not here for your money. I'm here to give you money, show you money, teach you about money and take you along the way. But I do get paid for my service. And, so that is just the approach.
Okay. And one other question for those starting out in that lane, what would you advise them when it comes to getting their first maybe 5 clients?
The first 5 clients, you saying getting them or they already have them?
What are some methods in which they can get, like if they're just starting their financial services business, like taking your advice, they haven't just gone out public, but they're ready to start working, start getting some results for clients. Where should they start?
Them. Start with you first. If you ain't your test market, if you don't know your product front and back, if you still guessing, you're not kind of ready to give it to nobody unless it's somebody you like a close person as a friend or so, and they like, hey, go ahead. I'm thinking about credit. Like, hey, I'm gonna fix mine first, and then I'm gonna do this and do this. You got to make sure that you know the whole step, finish the whole step of that, and then you get clients. Not just by selling, by opening up a first conversation with these people and then tell them like, hey, I've been studying. It ain't a real business. I might been studying, or hey, I've been researching this. Tell them a little bit about your knowledge and tell them that you're willing to help them or share your knowledge with them and give them not the real price because you're testing them. They're a guinea pig at that point in a sense. And then once you start getting confident, now put it out there a little bit more.
Okay.
But keep revising in your test market. That's your test market. So those are your first few clients. And they may not be your friends though. Do not wait on your friends and family to be your clients. Do not wait.
Okay. Yeah. Yo, that's good. That's good. Yo, so next thing I want to do, man, I want to get into what I like to call the goodie bag, man. I want to know what are some of the tools, some of the resources, some of the things that help you in operating your business. So when you look at your go-to tools, what would some of them be?
Some of the things that I always recommend with my clients on the next step to business is QuickBooks, making sure that you're managing all of your business so you can see where you're coming and going. I use different softwares. I can give them that software. If you're doing the credit gang, if you're starting that, Credit Repair Cloud is a great place to actually have it where you can not write them out. You can actually develop your system off of there. I will be teaching a class on that later on in life. Nice. But that's a great one for credit. Let me see. I got another one. QuickBooks. We talked about QuickBooks. What was the other one?
Credit Repair Cloud.
Credit Repair Cloud. Identity IQ. Credit Karma is not it's not a bad site. It gives you the estimate, but credit reports actually report once a month, the 3rd, the 8th, and the 15th, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian respectively. That's how they report. So Credit Karma updates weekly. How is that possible? So that's not your real score. So getting Identity IQ, you can monitor all 3 of your credit bureaus. So that's a good one. With some other ones that I use. Monkey Champ is great for the email campaigns, and you can send that out. If you do credit repair, you can't use Monkey Champ because they have rules against it. I use Sending Blue. Sending Blue is just as great. With some other things. Where I store all my life at is your Google Drive. Do not keep it on no laptops. Laptops, iPads, phones, they go bad. They get out of date. But you can keep it in the Google Drive. That's like my backbone. That's where everything is at. That's my storage place. GoDaddy. GoDaddy, get your website, get your email. So you want that. So those are a few. Shopify. Don't forget Shopify. Shopify connects to everything in life. If you're a merchant company, use Shopify. It connects and makes you be able to sell on Facebook and IG. Get you a Shopify account. Those are some of the ones that I use in my businesses.
I love that. And I know earlier you had mentioned ClickFunnels as well, right?
ClickFunnels. Perfect. Thank you, brother. ClickFunnels allow you to promote and upsell, where you're learning not only how to sell, because they teach you there. You'll get a good lesson there, a good education, a good college lesson in that thing right then and there. And they'll tell you how to sell on there, but they'll also give you the script. They'll give you their system on how they do it. The people that's already in a 2 comma, I think they call it 2 commas bracket. They giving you the steps, but you able to upsell and downsell on there, where you give them that first thing. I'll give them something for free first.
Okay.
And then they're like, oh, that's all they may want it. I got the email for one.
Right.
Now I got the email so I can send on an email campaign. Then I got they got that free thing. Now they got some trust in me because I gave them something for free and they used it and it worked. Wow.
Right.
So let me go see. He talked about this planner. Right. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Wait, I got this planner. He got that little cool shirt on. Let me get that shirt. He got a car freshener out there. He got this in this next little packet. It's only $20 more. The value of that shirt is $20. The shirt's $20 by itself. You know what? I just joined the brand. You can too. No, I'm saying I tried to do funny.
I love that, man. Yo, yes.
It's a buildup, but ClickFunnels allow you to do that.
That's dope. Oh man, that's amazing. Yo, your goodie bag is filled, bro. Like, I love it. So many amazing tools. I appreciate you for sharing that with us. Before we wrap things up, man, I want to get into the sauce, the success sauce. And I think that one of the main reasons that we're able to be successful as entrepreneurs and business owners is our daily habits. What are some things that you do on the daily that you feel attribute to your success?
I remind myself who I am. That's number one. Number one, I in the beginning of my day, I take time out not only for myself just to breathe. I want to be Arnez. I don't want to be AZ the brand all the time. You know, so I make sure that I breathe for a second. And then before I execute, before I even start moving, I need to see it. So bring it to like my track days. I say, Coach, what we got? We got that. Now, from this point on, I know what I'm preparing myself for. So I just watch me do it. And now I believe I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I make sure that I see it first before I do it. My cousin, I ran travel real fast, I guess. And I really moved fast. Just like I'm excited, I move just as fast. So my cousin was like, man, I saw you at the gas pump. I pulled in. He said, man, in one motion, you took it from here to closing it to being in your door, and you pulled out. He said, I thought I was watching The Matrix. He said, I was like, because I was on a mission and I seen everything that I had to do first, so I was able to do it precisely. Perspective, boom, 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 boom. I seen it before. I'm not new. So I come in, I'm not guessing. If I go into the weight room, I'll run to write out my workout so I can know exactly what I can do so I can execute it.
Right.
So planning is that daily habit.
I like that. And with that in mind, when you are planning, do you do day before, day of? I know different people take different approaches. How do you typically approach that?
My life is the craziest in life. I do too much for life, for real, you guys. So my daily planning, like somebody could tell me like, hey, yeah, next week we going to be doing this. It's like, okay, if it ain't on my calendar, first off, it could be on my calendar. I still won't know about it. I'm most likely, depending on what it is, I most likely got either a week, 2 days, or I need to see it that day. I definitely going to see it that day. When I wake up, I'm going to look at this calendar and I need to prepare my mind for whatever can come that day. But I also know that what I also may plan may not go that way because, hey, I might be short a teammate. I might be short this, or I might actually get a call from one of my clients, you know. I call my next step to business my clients, because they the high profile clients. They need the attention when they need the attention. They got a business, you know. So I might have to spend an hour with their stuff. So I just prepare my mind and myself for any and everything that can happen. But I also do know what goals is set in place, and I have that mental note, but I do have that look around. But I'm one of those that I've been crazy for a long time, so I got it. But I know friends that need it written down, and I'm going to give that advice, even though I don't follow it. I'm going to give that advice because I see the structure work out for a lot of people. So having an ideal of it is my thing.
Yo, Arnez, man, you have been dropping so many gems, man. I am so grateful to have had you on the show. Before we go, there's one last segment of the show that I like to call the Pick Three, where I give the guests the opportunity to pick three random numbers, and then each of those numbers has a question that's attached to it, and that question will be. Well, pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm just actually pick three random numbers, and then there's a question attached to it. You'll answer those questions, and then we'll wrap up from there. Cool?
Absolutely. So,
All right. So, what question out of 1 through 16, what number would you like?
A 1 through 16. Let me get a 6.
All right. Question 6 is, if you could have any skill or superpower to aid you in business, what would it be?
A clone. If I can clone myself, I want that.
Yo, that's dope, man.
First thing.
Yo, that's kind of like what you were talking about before, being in that duplication phase, right?
Yeah.
Like making it literal. That's dope. That's dope, man. All right. So question number 2, what would your second number be?
Number 2.
All right. Number 2 is, what was your first big treat yourself purchase to celebrate the success of your business?
Don't know. Let me think. I gotta think.
Yeah, take your time.
First big treat. Well, my Challenger.
Okay.
My dream car. My dream
nice.
car. So I would say that was like a big treat that I got for, and it's the year I graduated. So it was like my graduation / you got a business / let's go / life. Yeah, so I'll say that's one.
Okay. Nice. And last number out of 1 through 16, what is it going to be?
Today's date is the 4th. Let me get 4.
Okay. So number 4 is, if you woke up tomorrow with no business, what would you do?
Hey, I don't think that I can go back to work, even though I know if I train my mind, I can. But I'm going to say that I don't think I can be on nobody else's clock. Okay. But if I had no job or career, I'm hoping that doesn't mean that I'm broke. Right. So that means that if I was just free and I didn't have to work, I would probably like to be waking up on a beach somewhere, on the beach somewhere or somewhere exotic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, that's dope.
That's what
man.
I say.
Okay. Yo.
That means I got money.
Yeah, facts. Yo, that's real. That's real, man. Yo, Arnez, I really appreciate you for coming on. Definitely let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, show you some love and support. All
right. So if you guys on Instagram, on IG is AZ the brand all together. My real name is Arnez Hardnick. So follow me on Facebook. We have our website is AZ- F as in Frank, C as in Cat, S as in Sam, so financial consultant service.com. And if you guys need help, y'all can hit me up directly at area code 216-334-8237. And we'll love to have you join the brand and be part of our family. Oh, yeah. Arnez, man, it's been such an honor having you on. Everybody, make sure you guys go show them some love and support. With that being said, thank you again for coming on, Arnez. If you're ever interested in coming back on, it'll be an absolute honor, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for having me. All you guys go out there, man. Just try your best. Put your best foot forward. The biggest thing is trying. Do not stop. Try. The hardest part is getting started. And after you get started, you learning from that point. You're going to keep adjusting and keep adjusting and keep adjusting until you get something comfortable. So it was a pleasure being with you guys. My brother, whenever you need me on your show or ask me to be on your show, I'm going to clear my schedule for you. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.